In a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit. Many ages ago, when this ancient planet was not quite so ancient, long before Peter Jackson envisioned a Middle Earth, which looked a lot like New Zealand, only with 500% more steam so I couldn't see the words in front of me! In a land only a Tolkien nerd could pronounce, where the terrain changes drastically over the course of a few miles, in an area inhabited by hobbits, they built a village appropriately but unimaginatively named Hobbiton. There, in a hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit. Hobbits are quite disgusting creatures. You should have seen the original concept art for Bilbo, a repulsive frogman. Anyway, a hobbit named Bilbo Baggins, without realizing it, was about to be thrown into a
What?
excuse me. I was looking for Bilbo Baggins, but it appears I have come to the wrong place.
Well, I am Mr. Bilbo Baggins.
I was looking for an aristocratic English gentleman, not an anime-eyed weed smoker.
First of all, this is a pipe, not a bong. Besides, I don't see how a wannabe British magician would know anything about English aristocracy, or weed for that matter.
Enough! I am Gandalf, and Gandalf means weed!
Gandalf? Not the wandering audiobook narrator.
Possibly. Look, Bilbo, there are 13 dwarfish hobos in this picture. Can you find them all?
Red Robin.
Yum.
Yum.
Yum. Yum.
Yum. Allow me to introduce Thorin and company. Dwalin, Balin, Feely, Feely, Dory, Nori. It's on the tip of my tongue.
I'll give you a hint. It ends in Ori.
I'm going to go with Walter. Blowin', growin', bitter bother, and bomber. Has anyone seen my belt? In typical homeless dwarf fashion, we shall descend upon your house, raid your wine cellar, and spend the night.
But I guess dwarves will never understand. It is so depressing when one gets his dishes, his kitchen, and his whole house cleaned up just to have it be dirtied by some unwanted guests.
Mr. Baggins, you are absolutely right.
You actually agree with me?
Yes, we don't understand.
And so the dwarves descended on Bilbo's hole like flies to a light bulb, if such a thing will ever be invented in this universe. At first their presence was only a mild nuisance, until they discovered the alcohol. Things went downhill. Worst hangover I've seen in a while. He could use some rest.
Then we'll gather our instruments and serenade him to sleep.
Far over misty mountains cold. No, you're off key. Don't tell me what to do. I know what I'm doing. Shut up.
We must obey.
Feel any better, Bilbo?
Well, this music is worse than my headache.
I'll take that as a yes.
So how do you expect me to remember the names of 13 dwarfs when some names are merely amalgams of each other?
Don't sweat it. Only 2 of them are really going to get a personality in this movie, and only 4 of them will even get a line.
Now is the time to discuss our business.
Wait, there actually was a reason why you guys crashed my place? I thought homeless dwarves just took advantage of the generous.
I prefer the term short person. We were not always homeless, as we were once wise.
And so Thorin told Bilbo,
Gandalf, how can you be there and here at the same time?
the magic of Peter Jackson. And so Thorin told Bilbo of the great kingdom of Erebor and the Lonely Mountain.
Long ago, the Lonely Mountain was the home of my people. My father and his father were once great rulers who ruled over our people as king under the mountain.
The dwarves of old were miners strong, who delved deep in the mountain all day long. in mines deep and caverns old, uncovering gems, jewels, and gold, digging up treasures of wealth immense, which drove up inflation, if that makes any sense, uncovering great treasure in mining progression, setting the stage for global recession.
Are you gonna tell the story or give us an economics lecture?
It was just coming up with these rhymes, okay? There in their smithies they had made swords encrusted with jasper and jade, goblets glittering yellow and orange, treasures to behold from great. A great dragon appeared from the north, snorts of fire and smoke shot forth, laying to waste all in its path, none escaping its furious wrath. The city of Dale in ruin lay, had any survived none can say. The dwarfs were strong, but not enough to break dragon's hide, fierce and tough. The dwarfs fled their homes all alit, and found themselves in some pretty deep shaving cream.
Seems like my script, except mine has a subplot about an archer trying to redeem his ancestral honor, and a species feud between dwarves and elves.
Didn't you see the title of this movie? It's called the abridged version for a reason.
I presume you have an ingenious plan, correct?
Don't worry, Thorin has worked all afternoon and came up with an elaborate strategy.
It took you all afternoon to draw this.
You have to admit, that's some pretty good Microsoft Paint skills.
Well, it is elaborate.
So we leave first thing in the morning?
Of course we are.
Wait a minute, you barge into my hobbit hole asking if I want to join you on this suicide mission and expect me to agree?
Of course not. That's why we didn't ask.